on the switchback, and it kind of like all of a sudden you find yourself underneath like an overhang on the cliff, and the sound of raucous like tavern music is emanating from here. And you turn around the corner, and yes, you see a sign tacked to the rock face with some sort of like just metal stake or some bullshit just kind of like lodged in there. The sign that says the Goblin's Taint, and it has the crudely painted, bending over, ass cheek spreading goblin on it as well. You immediately hear the sound of laughter, drinks, and loud voices and argument, and you see this entrance with the kind of like makeshift doors as well. Fornart comes tumbling down behind you, hitting you all in the, just bowling through the group of you, the three of you, and flying into the bar itself.
I'm going in Taint first, boys.
Yep.
I think he's in the right spirit.
You're falling with style.
Exactly. So yeah, you find yourself, Fornart, you find yourself in there first, ironically. And you're like, once again, record scratch jazz music stops as everybody looks up as a little halfling just comes rolling into the room, into the center of the room. Same type of situation as last time. You find yourself in sort of like a sea cave, and it smells like BO, farts, and sea spray, because every once in a while you hear a loud crash and a jet of salt water just flies up out of like a hole in the wall as there's like a blowhole nearby, and it kind of just like soaks one half of the room. Yeah, soaks one half of the room. So you got BO, fart smell, and now kind of like this like wet, dirty person.
It's just dust myself off. Take a good way for that. It smells like my mama's cooking.
Yeah, and you look over, and this time you actually do. You see the makeshift bar with the barrels kind of like randomly, haphazardly stacked on the cliff walls around there, kind of like lodged sideways, like semi upside down, and you actually see a goblin behind the bar, like standing on a barrel, looking around the room. He has a apron on that's like 2 sizes too big, and he has like one ear is really big and has like 10 piercings in it. The other ear is missing, and he has one eye that looks left and the other eye that looks straight up.
Just right on over to him.
Uh-huh.
Got any tej there?
He like tries to look at you, and he just like turns his head like completely sideways, like he's looking at something that's like off in the distance, and then his one eye just goes shrink and like looks at you. He goes, "What?"
Booze.
Oh yeah. We got booze here at the Goblin's Taint. Yep. What you having? We got like it's not your mama's tej.
I'll take 2 of your mama's tej.
No. That's what it's called. Not your mama's tej.
I'll take 2 of some, not me mama's tej.
It's fine. Whatever. Fuck it. Is the name? It is.
Yeah, sure.
1 copper.
Give me 2.
Yeah. You what? 2 copper? Yeah. Here you go. And he just like hands you a larger mug than normal. It's filled to the brim with this like what like you expect golden tej. This tej is like it's like a deep blood red.
I'm gonna. How's the body of it?
So you take you sniff it. Smells like somebody like fucking put like somebody put a like bag of mangoes out in the sun for 5 days, and then took that bag of mangoes and stuck it in a pot and then boiled it for 4 hours, and then left that in a cold dark cellar for like 2 weeks, and then put it in a cup.
You know what smells mighty like mama's cooking? Toss it back.
Alright, give me a Constitution saving throw, please. Alright, dude, yeah, you feel it burn going down. It does actually taste great. It tastes much better than it smells and looks. But oh man, this is some stronger Tej. That is for sure.
Yep, I'm going to put down a silver piece and say, "Keep them coming."
Are the rest of us in the bar?
Oh yeah, you're already in. Yeah, you've moseyed on in.
All right, I would have caught up. I would sidle up there to the bar with you and do the same.
All right.
Start get some drinks going.
So yeah, you check it out, and the goblin does the same thing to each and every one of you. Robothok puts down a silver, and he like literally almost falls off of his barrel, like wow, makes the fucking like R2D2 noise, like wow, and just like looks around, like slams his hand down onto the table where the silver is, grabs it, like, and then he just eats it.
I gingerly put down 2 copper and then wait for my drink as well, but I'm watching.
He's too excited right now. He grabs one of the kegs off the wall and he just like plunk puts it down on the ground or puts it down on the bar. He says that silver. Whoa, that gets you one of these, man.
All right, I drink the whole thing.
Right. I take my 2 copper back and put another silver down and say, I want one of those as well!
He once again lets out a wow, and this time he just slams his head down on the table.
Easy.
And just eats that piece of silver as well. His eyes are now like, they're like his eyes look like the fucking like stick on googly eyes, like they were looking kind of at you before he slammed his head down to the table. And then he looks up and they're like skewed out in different directions. His tongue is like lolling from his mouth, and he just like blindly reaches behind him, fumbles with his hands once or twice, hits one of the kegs or one of the casks, and just goes swoop, and just like tosses it over his shoulder into your arms.
Oh, all right.
It's one way to ensure you're never robbed. No, just for curiosity's sake, I throw down a gold piece.
Let me see
I
something.
roll.
Rolling big.
Catch your ride dirty with
I lean over to Willoughby and say, "I hope you're gonna share."
There's no way I'm drinking any amount of whatever this comes of, but I think the entertainment in and of itself is
Okay, he's
worth it.
yeah, he holds onto his heart. He's like he like reels for a moment. His eyes like bug out, and they like you can visibly see them like spinning in every direction. And he just like he all of a sudden just kind of like falls off of the barrel with a thump, with a wet sound for some reason.
Over to the table, like, you okay down there?
He immediately pops up like right back into your face. Wow! And he just like, and as he does the thing where he like pops up, his head goes just at the bar level, and he just slams his mouth and just eats the gold piece. And then he just says, whatever. He says, "Here, I'll give you the good stuff. That's the good stuff." And he like ducks underneath the table. You hear him rummaging around, like a fishbone flies out, like a random frying pan flies out, like lands on the countertop, pang, 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 like drops back off again. And he brings out like a cask that is like wrapped in like a black oilcloth, and it has a skull and crossbones painted on it.
Oh my.
He says, yeah, the good stuff. This is the fried meat special.
Ooh, I'm very sure that it's the good stuff, and I'll ask for a drink.
He says, no. 1 gold, man. This is yours. And he kind of gingerly shoves over the cask to you.
I'd like to give that a shot.
Gingerly pour myself a glass.
It smokes as it comes out of the tap. Like, it visibly is like as it like semi like it's like sizzling in the glass.
That seems like some good shit.
Well, I did pay for it, and I toss it back.
All right, give me a Constitution save, please.
Oh boy.
Oh man. Nice.
You start to feel it. It's not as bad as it could be. Like, you steel yourself as you burn it down. It burns your throat worse than anything you've ever tasted. Worse than like the most like rot gut whiskey that you've ever found. Immediately like hits your stomach, and it just is like a bomb goes off. Like, you're immediately dizzy and just kind of like, but suddenly, like you're filled with euphoria, and everything is clear around you, and your eyes go wide, and everything is like sparkling and slowed down. It's like everything is in kind of like a semi-slow motion. You look and it's just you look over back behind the bar, and just in a slow motion movement you see Fraud Neat, that's his name, or Fraud Neats, looking at you, giving you the slowest thumbs up you've ever seen. Like,
This is the good stuff.
I look over to Willoughby. Can I try it?
I'm just like push the cask over and like grab Fred Neat over the table as best I can, like legs dangling off behind me, like, how did you make this stuff?
he just slowly like, special mushroom fermentation.
So he did Willoughby do a shot of it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a full mug of it.
Okay, go for it. Give me that
How many
con
Constitution checks?
save. Oh, it's just one.
For the full mug?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're Robothok falls over, and he's like, Robothok falls over, and he's just like twitching on the ground for like a solid minute. Do any of you guys do anything as he's just sitting there? For you, Robothok, everything is just not. It's like you feel like you're underwater. You fall backwards, and it has that sensation that you've fallen off a cliff. You just fall off your chair, and what feels like you're falling for like minutes and minutes on end. Once again, all the sounds in the bar just kind of go silent. They're just like sounds like you've just kind of gone deaf for a moment, and then you hit the ground, and you get the sensation instead of hitting solid ground, you've gone through some sort of water, and you are now having that weird kind of like scene where you're in the water, like just kind of like moving around slowly. It's not cold. You don't feel any wetness to it. It's almost like you're just floating in this like ethereal like fluid, and you're looking up and you can just see your body above you slowly just kind of like flopping bloom 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 on like the surface of this water, like a dying fish, and you look over and slowly see Willoughby, Heinrich, and Fornyart turn their heads to you and look down at you, and then
I've got like my hands out to everyone else. Wait, here comes the good part.
like the Fraud Neat. So Willoughby, you're still fucking high as shit. Fornyart and Heinrich, you see Fraud Neat cackling. He's just like, that's no, I've never even done that much ever. Oh my goodness, he's a madman, and he just like jumps up and down on his stool behind the thing, and he just says, well, hope he doesn't die, and then he like scampers off down the bar and like.
Wait, I try to grab him as he scampers away.
Yeah, give me a
scampering away. I'm gonna like just pull out my crowbar and give like Robothok some poking.
Okay, so Heinrich, give me a dexterity check.
I was saved, but it's the same. So
excellent. So as he scampers away, you just reach your arm out, like not even looking. You're just like, slunk, you just grab onto the back of his grubby tunic, and he's like,
So friend, before you take off so quickly, like, how long can I expect my friend over here to be in this catatonic state? And I just like to let you know, if he does die, you're next.
He says, no, don't worry, it's not fatal. He just took a big hit, and then he says he'll be back in. He holds up a little goblin hand and he counts down 3, 2, 1, and then Robothok, you're in this kind of ethereal floatiness, and all of a sudden you just feel yourself, and you're just pulled out like you're being just like a jet of water shooting you back up to the surface, and you collide with your body that's lying on the floor of this thing, and you just sit up. But for you, this is still in just like pure slow motion, so you're like coming up like, but everybody else, Heinrich and Fornyart, you turn, and this is when Fornyart is like leaning over to maybe just poke at Robothok with the crowbar, and then suddenly Robothok just sits bolt upright and just takes the loudest, like...
Jump to my feet.
Isn't it?
I mean, we're talking at like the same speed now.
Yeah.
So we're just like equal. But yeah, I jump up to my feet, I turn towards the crowd, and I just tackle the first person I see.
I release the goblin at this point. And go,
Yeah,
God damn it!
He's cackling and he just like laughs and runs down the thing. 400 yard, you see Robothok